Before I let you go, I want to talk to you about sort of the tone of the last election, the level of anger, I think you could say, on the part of some, and sort of a feeling, we may always say it's terrible now, it's worse today than it's ever been, and maybe we perennially say that, but it does feel like there's a level of divisiveness. This is a government that is in some ways new, but of course in some ways it's the same government. What's your message to, not in your riding where you get ridiculously large majorities, but your message to...
Don't jinx it, Amanda. Don't
Sorry,
jinx it.
so far. But to the Canadians who didn't vote for you or didn't want you back, and here you are, you're obviously working on behalf of all Canadians. How do you bring us together?
So I think it started on election night. I thought the Prime Minister's comments there, I hope, would have been reassuring, as you said, to Canadians that didn't vote for us. That's what a democracy is. Somebody wins an election and somebody doesn't. That shouldn't traumatize us either. I've won elections and lost elections as a party. Actually, I lost an election in my own riding almost 30 years ago. So this is a normal part of a democracy, but the Prime Minister did say, and his instructions to us as ministers have been clear. We were elected to be the government of every Canadian and every region of the country, and will be judged in the next election as to how we lived up to that promise. So if people were mad at us on the election day a month and a half ago, surely we need to understand that. We need to respect that, but also commit ourselves to making sure over the coming months and in the next election, whenever it happens, that they're not as mad as many of them were a month and a half ago. So I sat in the last Parliament, Amanda. There were people who were deliberately vandalizing the political climate. We shouldn't be afraid to say that either. I've watched Mr. Harper's government. I've seen Mr. Harper in opposition. I've seen Stockwell Day as an opposition leader. I've been around long enough. We have never seen the deliberate attempt to distort facts, to exaggerate things, to ascribe personal blame to political leaders for things that sort of no objective observer would think that these conclusions are reasonable.
An ongoing, unfortunate part of this conversation with people in public life is what you have to deal with, the level of personal attack, anger directed at you in a different way. Does it feel different to you? And for that, I would blame maybe our neighbors to the south, but really some of the tools, right? Social media and how it can be used and abused.
So you're right. I mean, I was talking about the last Parliament, but the
Yes.
broader issue, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of responsibility all over the place. I listened to my buddy Andrew Fury, Dr. Fury, when he participated in your podcast, speaking about that. There's an example. I mean, there's no nicer group of people than Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, but he had to have security because people would yell at his kids. He's got adorable young kids at hockey practice and stuff. So that level of sort of vitriol is new and is concerning. I'm lucky. In my own personal circumstance, it's extraordinarily rare that I don't read the stuff on social media. I never read the comments. And it's not because it's some great discipline on my part. Maybe I'm just too lazy. So I sort of putter around with my friends and my colleagues and do my job and don't get fussed about that. Mr. Chrétien used to tell us, Amanda, you don't need all the votes to win the election. You need one more than the person that comes second. So somebody's upset, fine. You try and understand that, but you continue to do the job you can do. I think Mr. Carney also, his arrival gives everyone a chance perhaps to reflect on, to your point, why there has been this increase. A lot of it is fueled from outside Canada. I think you're right. But there's a new prime minister with a new mandate, and perhaps we can collectively, all of us, start off at lower volume. Like if people decide to crank up the volume on the eve of some future election, that's whatever. They can explain that. But I don't know why you start with the volume always at 10 out of 10